can assign delay the way the believer should. When he sees delay, he celebrates prematurely, thinking you have missed your moment. But what he does not know is that delay is often God's way of preparing a greater victory that will shut the mouths of devils permanently. Sometimes the delay is not even about you. It is about the person God is preparing for you. You are ready, but they are not. And because divine unions require two complete vessels, God will hold you back while he completes his work in them. He will break their pride. He will heal their wounds. He will reorder their priorities. And until they are ready, he will keep you hidden, lest you collide in immaturity and destroy a move of God before it begins. Other times, delay comes because of divine alignment. There are systems, opportunities, and seasons that must come together perfectly for your destiny to be fully unveiled. You may be ready. Listen carefully. There are battles you are fighting right now that are not about your career, not about your finances, not even about your health. It is about a union ordained by heaven. There is a voice that has been echoing in the spirit, a cry that says, you are the only one. No substitute, no alternative. And because of that divine jealousy, the enemy has risen, not against you because you sin, but because you carry something so rare, so precious, a union that will terrorize darkness. Tonight, by the Spirit of God, I will show you why confusion, delay, betrayal, and sudden separation keep happening in your life. Not to break you, but to preserve you. Stay with me. If you walk away halfway, you will miss the reason why you have been crying at midnight. Why connections that seemed perfect suddenly died. And why you feel a longing for someone you have not even fully met. Tonight, God will open your eyes. Don't, but the environment is not ready. So God delays. He aligns people you have not even met yet. He positions helpers you have not yet seen. He opens gates that you did not even know were locked. And when everything is set, suddenly the delay will break, and what seemed impossible will manifest effortlessly. It takes spiritual maturity to discern between satanic delay and divine delay. Not every closed door is demonic. Not every no is from hell. Some denials are signed with the fingerprint of God. Some reroutings are written by the hand of the master. You must grow to the point where you do not panic when things do not move at your pace. You must anchor your soul in the conviction that if it is not yet happening, then God is still working. If it has not yet manifested, then it is because there is a better version of that miracle being fashioned for you. Beloved, delays handled properly produce men and women of depth, of wisdom, of resilience, and of unshakable faith. Those who refuse to be offended by divine timing are those who inherit thrones that endure. Every day of delay is an investment into your future stability. Every hour of silence is a brick laid into your foundation. Every season of loneliness, every night of unanswered prayer, every moment where it seems like God has forgotten you, all of it is weaving a tapestry of destiny that will speak louder than any temporary pain you feel now. Wait well, wait with discernment, wait with thanksgiving, for what God is preparing for you will make you forget the days you cried and wondered if he even heard you at all. But just listen casually. Your destiny may depend on what you are about to hear. Love, as designed by God, is more than a feeling. It is a prophetic weapon. When God orchestrates a relationship, it is not just for emotional satisfaction or social stability. It is a carefully designed component in the architecture of destiny. Divine love is a prophetic agenda It carries a weight in the spirit that transcends romance and companionship. It is about the fulfillment of a portion of heaven's counsel on earth. When God brings two people together under his ordination, it is because there is a dimension of his kingdom agenda that requires their union. Their coming together is not first for pleasure or even for procreation, though those things are beautiful and necessary. Their union is primarily prophetic. It carries a seal that says, this is part of the unfolding of God's will for a generation. Many do not realize that the reason together altars will be torn down. If these two ever find each other and stand side by side, ancestral patterns will be broken forever. If these two ever unite, nations will hear the name of Jesus. That is why many of you have experienced strange relationships, counterfeits, delays, betrayals. It is not because you are cursed. It is because you are preserved. If you understood the seriousness of what you carry, you would thank God for every time you interrupted your plans. But because divine love is protected love, God will guard it jealously. He will allow the wrong ones to fall away, even when your emotions are screaming, even when your heart is breaking, because he is watching over a prophetic agenda. God does not view relationships the way the world does. In the world, relationships are about convenience, attraction, social advancement. But in the kingdom, relationships are about prophetic fulfillment. They are about birthing the purposes of God. They are about building altars of righteousness. They are about raising children who will shake kingdoms. They are about establishing legacies that speak long after you are gone. This is why you cannot afford to choose like the world chooses. You cannot afford to love carelessness. You cannot afford to partner your destiny with just anyone. Divine love is not first about compatibility. It is about assignment. The person God has for you may not fit every box on your checklist. They may not be the tallest, the richest, the most celebrated, but they will carry something in their spirit that resonates with your assignment. They will carry keys to doors you are meant to open. They will carry answers to prayers you have not yet prayed. They will carry battles you are anointed to help them win. And when you come together, there would be a supernatural synergy, a fire that cannot be quenched, a river than a wedding day. It is bigger than Instagram posts. It is bigger than anniversaries and vacations. It is about destiny. It is about legacy. It is about eternity. Divine love is a prophetic agenda, and when it is time, no force of hell will be able to stop it. Delay is not always denial. In the realm of the spirit, many delays are not accidents. They are deliberate markers placed by the wisdom of God to preserve the integrity of destiny. When God delays a thing, it is often because the timing of manifestation must align perfectly with his divine agenda. There are seasons where if God gave you what you asked for, it would destroy you and it will sabotage his greater purpose. So in his mercy, he delays. Not to frustrate you, but to shield you. The human heart easily misunderstands divine processes. When there is delay, we are quick to think something has gone wrong, that God has forgotten or that our prayers have been ignored, but not be stopped. Understand, precious people, that when God says someone is meant for you, he is speaking from the standpoint of eternity. He is not guessing. He is not experimenting. He has seen the battles you must fight. He has seen the nations you must touch. He has seen the altars you must build. And he knows that this particular person is the covenant partner you need to finish your race well. This is why he will not allow you to settle easily. This is why he will interrupt good relationships that are not God relationships. This is why he will bring divine dissatisfaction to your spirit when you try to tie yourself to what is convenient but not covenant. Some of you under the sound of my voice are frustrated because you do not understand that you are under divine surveillance. God is not delaying you because he is cruel. He is delaying you because the union he is orchestrating carries too much prophetic weight to be mishandled. It is bigger. There is so much warfare around their emotions, so much confusion around their relationships. It's because what they are carrying is not ordinary. When God ordains a relationship, he wraps it in mystery. It is hidden from the immature. It is hidden from carnal eyes. It is hidden even from principalities until the time appointed. This is why you can be surrounded by many people, yet your heart feels an emptiness, a longing for something you cannot explain, because there is a sound in the spirit, a frequency that only the one ordained by God can answer. Divine love is about prophecy. It is about purpose. It is about preservation. You see, Satan is not fighting your love life because he is bored. He is not attacking your emotions because he has nothing else to do. He is targeting it because he has caught a glimpse of what your union represents. He has sensed by discernment that if this one and that one ever come, I bring you prophetic insight tonight. There are delays that are signatures of love, delays that are emblems of wisdom, delays that are shields against premature exposure. Some of you right now are standing at the edge of destiny, but the door has not opened yet. Not because God is punishing you, but because what you carry must be revealed at the appointed time, not before it. In the making of a vessel of honor, timing is everything. If you step into certain relationships before you are processed, what was meant to bless you will burden you. There are skills you must learn. There are character traits that must be forged. There are mindsets that must be renewed. There are weights you must lay aside. If God joins you prematurely to the person he has ordained for you, you will become a burden to each other instead of a blessing. And so in delays, and in that delay, he is working on your patience. He is working on your discernment. He is working on your sensitivity to his voice. He is working on your humility. He is working on your capacity to carry the weight of the future. You see, spiritual delays are not random. They are orchestrated moments designed to prepare you for an outcome you have not yet matured into. Sometimes you pray and it seems as if heaven is silent. You fast and nothing moves. You sow seeds and still the doors do not open. And you begin to wonder, God, have you abandoned me? But the Spirit of God would have you know, I am not ignoring you. I am building you. In the silence, you are growing roots. In the stillness, you are gaining depth. In the waiting, you are being strengthened. If you knew what was waiting for you at the end of this process, you would thank God for every delay. If you could see the battles you have been spared because of the detours, you would worship him for his wisdom. The enemy does not. In the dealings of God with men, there is a mystery called exclusivity. It is not a product of pride. It is the seal of divine election upon a person's life. When God places his hand on a destiny, there is a separation that happens in the spirit realm. It is not always visible to the physical eye at first, but in the spirit a boundary is drawn. It is heaven's way of declaring this one has been set apart for a specific purpose. In the context of divine unions, this mystery is even more profound. There are certain people for whom no substitute exists. No one else will fit. No one else will satisfy. No one else will complete the equation of your assignment. When God speaks about someone being the only one, it is not emotional language. It means that before the foundations of the earth, in the council of Elohim, an agreement was reached that for your journey, for your calling, for your battles, for your victories, for your impact, this particular person carries the exact codings needed to walk beside you. This person is not just a partner. They are a covenant fulfillment. Their spirit and yours have been designed to recognize, to recompense, to sharpen, and to protect one another. This is why, no matter how many options life presents, there is a dissatisfaction that will haunt your spirit until you find the one God has sealed for you. It is not about physical beauty. It is not about financial status. It is not about charisma or earthly compatibility. It is about a deep resonance in the spirit, a recognition that bypasses logic, that transcends preferences, that silences the noise of counterfeit attractions. You will find yourself drawn almost magnetically to someone whose spirit calls out to yours in ways words cannot articulate. The mystery of exclusivity means that when God marks a person for you, no amount of human effort can successfully replace them. You can try to move on. You can attempt to settle. You can build walls around your heart. But the design of destiny will frustrate every alternative. It will cause relationships to fail without logical explanation. It will stir restlessness in your soul when you try to anchor yourself in what is comfortable but not covenantal. Because in the economy of God, substitutes are dangerous. They may bring temporary relief, but they rob you of permanent purpose. This exclusivity is also why Satan fights prophetic unions with such intensity. He knows that if you ever find the one God set apart for you, there will be a synergy that makes you unstoppable. One will chase 1,000, but two properly aligned will put 10,000 to flight. There are dimensions of authority or breakthrough, of impact, that you cannot step into alone. They require covenant partnership. And so hell will launch confusion, offense, distractions, counterfeits, anything to keep you from recognizing the one carrying the missing piece of your destiny equation. It is important to understand that exclusivity does not mean perfection. The one God has for you will not be flawless, but they will be perfectly fitted for your assignment. Their strengths will reinforce your weaknesses. Their presence will accelerate your growth. Their counsel will align you with divine blueprints. Their prayers will shield you in battle. Their laughter will heal wounds you did not even know you carried. It will not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. There is a supernatural knowing that accompanies divine exclusivity. It may not happen instantly, but when it does, you will know. Deep will call unto deep. Spirit will bear witness with spirit. The Holy Ghost will testify in your heart, sometimes louder than any audible voice, and it will produce a peace that surpasses understanding, even if circumstances seem imperfect. You will realize that you are not just choosing, you are responding. You are not just loving, you are aligning. You are stepping into a story that heaven wrote before time began. This is why it is dangerous to rush ahead of divine timing. Impatience can cause you to bond with those who were never authorized to journey with you. It can cause you to settle for compatibility when God designed you for covenant. It can make you ignore the gentle whispers of the Spirit, who is trying to guide you into the fullness of what he has prepared. In matters of destiny, waiting is wisdom. Discernment is survival. Prayer is navigation. You must be willing to trust that the God who altered your life has not forgotten the details. He knows where the one ordained for you is. He knows how to bring your paths together. And when the time is right, the exclusivity of heaven will manifest on earth. And no power of hell will be able to separate what God himself has joined together. In the realm of the spirit, cycles are not random. They are the fingerprints of systems that have either been authorized by God to continue or permitted by ignorance to persist. When it comes to matters of destiny and divine relationships, many people find themselves trapped in repetitive patterns. Cycles of almost getting it right but never arriving. Cycles of connections that spark with promise but end in confusion. Cycles of delay, heartbreak, false starts, and deep frustration. These are not just coincidences. They are prophetic indicators that something vital is missing. Alignment. Until there is alignment with the mind of God, with the timing of God, and with the will of God, cycles will keep repeating. Heaven will not adjust itself to bless your impatience. God will not alter his standards to accommodate your desperation. There is an order, a protocol that must be obeyed for destiny to open. And if you refuse to yield to that order, you will find yourself circling the same mountains, walking through the same deserts, battling the same silent wars, until your spirit finally bows in surrender to the divine pattern. Alignment is not just agreement with God's will at the surface level. It is the deep adjustment of your heart, your priorities, your desires, your fears, and your expectations to match his blueprint. We supervise them. It is the caution that says, Lord, I will not just accept your promise, I will also accept your process. Many want the reward of divine unions, but despise the refining fire that prepares them to steward it well. And so God in his mercy allows cycles to continue, not to punish, but to purify. Every cycle is a mirror. Every delay is a message. Every repetition is an invitation to pause and ask, Lord, what are you trying to teach me that I'm refusing to learn? There are many whose destiny helpers have already been dispatched in the spirit, but they remain hidden because the person they are assigned to help is out of position. Imagine two people called to meet at a precise place and time. One arrives early and leaves discouraged. The other arrives late and finds the place empty, confused. The meeting never happens. Not because the assignment was wrong, but because the alignment was broken. This is how destiny often operates. Timing is critical. Sensitivity is critical. And until there is alignment, the cycles will not break. Alignment requires discernment. You must know when to move, when to stay, when to speak silent. Many have aborted divine connections because they moved in assumption instead of discernment. They judged by the seeing of the eyes and the hearing of the ears, not by the witness of the spirit. They chose based on appearance, status, charisma, and ignored the deeper whisper of God saying, wait. And because of that premature move, cycles of heartbreak and disappointment continue. There are spiritual laws that govern divine meetings. Humility must precede honor. Purity must precede possession. Faith must precede fulfillment. God will not violate his order to satisfy your impatience. He loves you too much to give you a blessing you are not prepared to protect. Every time you find yourself in another cycle, it is a prophetic alarm, an urgent call to adjust, to recalibrate, to ask the Spirit of God to realign your heart with the timing and purposes of heaven. Sometimes alignment requires letting go of familiar pain. Many are so attached to their brokenness that they subconsciously sabotage every new door God tries to open. They have become comfortable in dysfunction, and so when a true covenant opportunity arises, they cannot recognize it. Fear, insecurity, mistrust, these become invisible chains that drag them back into familiar cycles. And until they allow the Holy Spirit to heal those broken places, to uproot the lies they have believed, they will keep repeating the same seasons with different faces and different names. True alignment demands trust. Trust in the character of God. Trust in the timing of God. Trust in the process of preparation. It is the posture that says, Lord, even when I do not see the full picture, I believe you are working all things together for my good. It is the maturity that refuses to interpret delays as denials, that refuses to settle for substitutes, that waits, worships, and watches for the hand of God to move. It is the depth that says, I would rather wait a little longer and step into covenant than rush and settle into compromise. Cycles are defeated at the altar of surrender. Alignment is birthed when your will dies and his will reigns. Until that death to self happens, the lessons will keep repeating. The patterns will keep cycling, and the heart will keep yearning for a fulfillment that seems just out of reach. But the moment alignment is achieved, truly achieved, the cycles will break like chains under the anointing, and what has tarried for years will manifest in moments. and you will know that the waiting was never in vain. There are no coincidences in the life of a man or woman who walks with God. Everything is calculated, measured, intentional. The steps of the righteous are ordered by the Lord. And when destiny is involved, heaven moves with such precision that even the delays, the diversions, and the disappointments are part of a larger story being woven by unseen hands. Recognizing when divine orchestration is at work requires a spirit that sees beyond what the natural eye can perceive, a heart that is sensitive enough to interpret movements in the spirit even when outward circumstances look ordinary. When God begins to orchestrate a meeting, a relationship, a destiny encounter, he does it subtly. It will often not look dramatic at first. In fact, it may come clothed in dramatic at first. In fact, it may come clothed in interruptions to your routine. And if you are not spiritually alert, you will walk past moments that were pregnant with eternal significance. Many times the miraculous disguises itself as the mundane. Divine orchestration does not always announce itself with thunder. It often whispers through what seems normal. One of the ways to recognize divine orchestration is the strange sense of peace that accompanies an unexpected shift. You may not have all the answers. You may not even fully understand why you feel drawn to a person, a place, a decision, but deep within, your spirit knows. The peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, acts as the umpire. It will not shout, but it will settle upon you in such a way that even if logic protests, you cannot deny the gentle yet unshakable assurance that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Another indicator of divine orchestration is the effortless nature of certain alignment. In a world where most things are achieved through struggle and striving, when God is the one orchestrating, there is a supernatural ease that accompanies his move. Doors open without manipulation. Conversations flow with unusual depth. Connections are made without the usual effort. It does not mean there will be no warfare, but even in the midst of the battle, there is a supernatural grace that carries you. You will look back and realize that what would have taken years in the flesh was accomplished in moments by the Spirit. There is also the unmistakable mark of prophetic confirmation. When God is orchestrating something significant, he will often send witnesses, prophetic voices, dreams, inner nudges, scriptures that leap out at you, all pointing in the same direction. He will confirm his move through patterns too consistent to ignore. You may find yourself repeatedly encountering the same message from different unrelated sources. You may hear sermons, songs, conversations that echo the same instruction. Divine orchestration often comes with divine echoes, if only you are attentive enough to hear. In the orchestration of relationships, God also uses preparation as a key sign. You will notice that certain developments in your life, even painful ones, have prepared you perfectly for the person or the assignments he's about to introduce. Your wounds will have taught you compassion. Your battles will have sharpened your discernment. Your waiting seasons will have birthed in you a patience and wisdom that now fit perfectly into the next chapter. When divine orchestration is at work, you will often realize in hindsight that nothing in your journey was wasted. Even the mistakes, even the detours were somehow used by God to mold you into who you needed to be. Recognizing divine orchestration also requires a refusal to be overly familiar with the move of God. Sometimes, because a person does not fit our expectations, in appearance, in background, in style, we dismiss what heaven is trying to bring into our lives. Destiny help often comes wrapped in unfamiliar packaging. You must discern by the Spirit, not by the flesh. You must be willing to trust that God's ways are higher than yours, and his wisdom far surpasses human logic. Divine orchestration will usually challenge your comfort zone. It will require a step of faith, a breaking away from familiar cycles, a willingness to obey when you do not see the full picture. It demands that you trust the composer of destiny even when you do not hear the full symphony yet. Often you will be asked to move first, to respond first before you see the full unfolding. Faith must precede sight. Obedience must precede understanding. When God is orchestrating, there will be unusual favor that follows you. What should be impossible will suddenly become accessible. What should have been out of reach will be brought into your hands. People you never sought will seek you. Resources you never fought for will find you. Strategies you never learned will flow through you. And when you recognize that it is not by your strength, not by your might, but by the Spirit of the Lord, gratitude will pour from your heart like a river. Waiting is one of the greatest of trust in the walk of destiny. It is in the waiting room of life that motives are purified, character is forged, and true faith is separated from mere ambition. What you do while you wait often determines not only when the promise will manifest, but whether you will have the capacity to sustain it when it arrives. Waiting is not passive. It is an active partnership with the Spirit of God. Heaven watches carefully how you posture your heart in seasons of delay, because delay is never just about time, it is about preparation. While you wait, one of the first assignments is to contend for clarity. It is easy to become confused, distracted, and discouraged when you do not see visible movement. But waiting seasons are divine opportunities to go deeper into the mind of God concerning your destiny. It is in waiting that you inquire of the Lord, that you seek his heart beyond just his hand, that you begin to align your desires fully with his perfect will. You must ask the Lord to open your eyes to the hidden instructions, to reveal the next step, even if he does not show you the full journey. In waiting, revelation becomes your survival tool. While you wait, you must embrace the discipline of preparation. Destiny does not reward those who wait with folded arms. It crowns those who prepare while others slumber. The manifestation you are praying for is a responsibility, not just a reward. If God granted it to you prematurely, it could crush you instead of bless you. Therefore, every day in the waiting season must be a day of intentional growth. Build the emotional strength, the spiritual depth, the intellectual capacity, and the financial stewardship that your next season will demand. You are not just waiting, you are building the man or woman who will steward the promise. While you wait, you must wage war against bitterness and offense. Delay can easily open doors to murmuring, complaining, and cynicism. You can't begin to believe that God has forgotten you, or worse, that he has favored others over you. Guard your heart diligently. Offense towards God and man is a thief of destiny. Thanksgiving must become your language. Worship must become your atmosphere. You must daily remind your soul that God's timing is perfect, that he is too faithful to fail, and that what he is preparing for you is worth every second of the wait. While you wait, you must steward relationships wisely. Not every connection in your waiting season is meant to journey with you into your manifestation. Some people are scaffolding, they are temporary supports to help you build, but they are not part of the final structure. Discern who you must honor, who you must learn from, and who you must gently release. God will often test your loyalty and your honor in waiting seasons, because how you treat people when you have nothing will often determine who he can trust you with when you have abundance. While you wait, you must sharpen your sensitivity to the leading of the Holy Spirit. Divine opportunities often come disguised as small doors. if you are not tuned to the voice of God, you may despise the very platform he intends to use to launch you into destiny. Prayer, fasting, the study of the word, these are not optional disciplines. They are lifelines in the waiting season. It is in waiting that God trains your ear to hear him in whispers so that you can follow him in storm. While you wait, you must practice contentment without complacency. Contentment is the heart posture that says, even if I never receive the promise, you, Lord, are enough for me. It is worship that transcends transaction. It is love that remains steadfast, whether the doors open or not. But contentment does not mean inactivity. It means you work, you build, you grow, but you refuse to make an idol out of the manifestation. Your joy is anchored in God himself, not in the gifts he gives. While you wait, you must refuse the temptation to manufacture your own door. Ishmael was born because Abraham and Sarah tried to assist God. Impatience birthed a counterfeit that repeated conflict for generations. Whenever you feel pressured to help God fulfill his word, know that you are standing on dangerous ground. God is capable of fulfilling his promises without compromising his integrity. Trust his methods as much as you trust his motives. The waiting season is a divine classroom. It is where generals are trained, where kings are molded, where warriors are tested. Heaven watches closely how you behave in obscurity before granting you visibility. If you can praise in the prison, you can reign in the palace. If you can trust in the drought, you can steward abundance with humility. What you do while you wait is the prophecy of what you will do when you arrive.